that is a description of the three ordinances that are currently before the King County Council, and we have three individuals who have signed up to speak on these ordinances, and that is the purpose of the next few minutes. The three individuals are Mia Jacobson, Sam Bellamio, and Alex Zimmerman.
No, we need to clarify. We can speak about all three or each individual. You give us 2 minutes for each, or you give us 2 minutes for three.
Alex, you know the rules that we operate on.
No, how Comcast and Sheriff can go in one package? It's a coffee, yeah, black with milk.
There are three issues.
Three separate issues to address originally, and now they're all before us at one under 2 minutes, and you can't address all.
You're so fast.
There are three ordinances before us, and I'm asking that you speak specifically to the ordinances. You can pick which ones you want to speak to.
This don't have a sense because
if you indicate to me that you only are standing up there to speak on item 9 or 10 or 11, I'll grant 2 minutes for that.
An extra 2 minutes.
Whichever one.
Okay. All right, so you're saying if we want to speak to number 9 and number 11,
yeah,
you'll give us 2 minutes, one for 9 minutes, 2 minutes for 9, and 2 minutes for 11. You're saying?
So for 4
yeah, I'll take it one at a time.
Take it one at a time.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll start
off number 9.
Item number 9. I'll start off with item number 9, which is the. This one we're talking about cable television franchise, and I don't agree with extending any ordinance with any franchise. It's a monopoly. Right now, who do we have as a cable? Comcast. What franchise are we talking about? You should explicitly put Comcast in here and express it's a big monopoly that's even occurring right now. Companies right now could probably give cable out for free right now if they wanted to advertise and give you free cable. But instead, Comcast has a monopoly over it. They're making millions hand over fist, charging you $100 for what? I don't know. But they're charging $100, and on top of that, they're charging people to advertise on there. They're making money from both sides. The only reason this is allowed to continue
this ordinance is
dealing with cable television franchises.
Sam, hold on.
Yeah,
because I'm the chair and I have the authority to interrupt you.
Oh, okay.
Specifically, the ordinance has nothing to do with Comcast. That's not the cable company.
Okay.
So did you read the ordinance?
I did. It just said cable franchise in it. So I'm speaking to what I think cable franchise is. It's my opinion why you shouldn't pass it. I related it to that.
Comcast have a cable. You don't know this?
You'll be out of order if you say anything. I haven't called on you, Mr. Zimmerman. I'm dealing with Sam. I
didn't help me understand what's going on, so I'll have him whisper it to me. So Proceed?
Yeah.
All right. So the problem is with having Comcast as a cable franchise in the area is that they have lobbyists. They fund a lot of campaigns in the area. They're allowed to extort $100 from us per month. They're allowed to make us pay so much for cable when it should be going less and less. As people have less money, we're paying more and more for things. But that's only because they have a monopoly. If they didn't have a monopoly, they'd have to go with common capitalism way. If there's 1 million shirts and no one wants it, they reduce the price. But when you only have one shirt, it costs a lot. Well, guess what? We only have one company, and so it has to cost a lot. Why can't we allow other franchises in? Why? Because, and the last thing before I finish, because I know my 2 minutes is almost up, Channel 21 and 22 are only on cable. Those are public access airways. You're airing on 21, CL airs on 22. But you only can get it if you pay for cable, who has a monopoly even on this television that everyone's watching it on. Why isn't it aired over the airways? Why do people have to pay? The poor don't have access to cable, and yet that's only access to these meetings. Some people live far away out in the outskirts of King County. So you need to start changing that too and start providing free TV for Channel 21 instead of making them charge for this cable. Buying these franchises monopoly so that way they can watch the government act as criminals and crooks. I don't believe that this should be passed until you start adopting rules that are on behalf of the people and stop monopolies such as Comcast, and also stop making people pay to watch their government in these meetings. So that's my opinion, and thank you for allowing me to finish.
All right, you're welcome. All right,
Hello.
Mia.
So 9 and 10. Cable, and then the executive.
And that's collective bargaining.
Which ordinance?
9, Mia. Go about it.
Well, I didn't know I had to.
What ordinance?
I had one opportunity. Ordinance 9.
All right.
Cable thing.
Proceed.
So where is the discussion about the transfer of ownership between small local companies to a conglomerate owned by an elite few? Monopolies of business make free enterprise nearly impossible. This issue must be addressed, and when is not my responsibility. That is your duty to make time to address the problems in our society. It may not seem completely relevant right now, but when else can we talk about it? If we're constrained to the agenda like you have made the process, you dictate this process, it's completely within your control. We have to talk about Comcast here because there's no other opportunity. You won't give us one. We keep asking you for an open public meeting and you won't do it. So that's why we have to talk about it now. So, and also the ownership of cables speaks to the larger issue of payment for those services. Right now, as Sam mentioned, the public channels are 21, 22. They're not included in a free cable package. You have to pay to participate in the workings of our own government, which doesn't really seem right or fair or the way to go about things if we really want the people to understand what's going on or be able to watch the workings of their own government. It's as if we have to pay an attendance fee to participate in our workings of our government. So the consideration of this ordinance should accompany a thorough discussion of how it would affect the larger trend of business ownership in our times. This is a complicated issue and it needs to be addressed. We are asking you to do more, and we are here to help you. Your meetings for you need to open up your meetings for dialogue with the people whose fate you are discussing. 2 minutes of unacknowledged public comment is not enough. We can come here and say whatever we want, but we never get a reaction out of you guys, really, unless we were violating the process and protocol, which is then you're just telling us to stop what we're doing. The issues we actually bring up, there's never a conversation. And that's what we keep asking you for, an open public meeting where this stuff can come out, it can be addressed, we can feel like we trust you guys again because you're willing to talk to us. You're willing to be criticized, even if it's not constrained in 2 minutes. So that's my opinion.
Thank you, Mia. Alex Zimmerman.
Hi, my name is Alex Zimmerman. I represent StandUP-America. StandUP-America stand up for ordinary people. What is we have right now with cable is show exactly what is happening right now in the United States of America. We don't have freedom of speech. We don't have a media right now. Everything controlled by government. It's a pure fascism with Gaster Gestapo principle. It is exactly happening with cable right now in Seattle, in King Country. It's too many companies around who can provide internet for free in probably basic cable for free too. It's never happened. It's 21st century outside. You know what it means? We have a Microsoft who make $1 billion. Amazon who have make $1 billion. We have a Comcast who make $1 billion. He cannot provide service for poor people. 50% people right now absolutely poor. Yesterday I see Venezuela have election. You know what it means? In the American channel, I think number 4, talk about 27% poor in Venezuela. Guys, 50% poor right now in the United States. 50% people cannot pay for cable. It's too expensive. I pay for 20 years plus probably $25,000. It's a ton of money. Right now America fallen, and we cannot bring free channel, free internet. If we have many corporations who can do this for free, because you guys, you acting like organized criminal, like a mafia, because we don't have more media. We don't have freedom of speech. We don't have media what is supposed to be a freedom of speech. It's exactly what is happening right now. If we can talking about this and nothing change. So when we will start see real changes, when it will be internet for free, like radio for free, nobody pay for radio. Why internet cannot be for free? Why is basic cable cannot be for free? When you stop and doing this, when you stop in this monopoly, when you stop and be a fascism, corporation with government, when this will be stopping? It's time, guys, right now. We go poorer and poorer. Many people cannot afford right now. No internet, no cable. Look what is happening in library. 1,000 people go because it's for free. We cannot provide. Corporation make $1 billion and you support this because it's in your interest. So when this will be stopping, when corruption will be stopping, is possible or not? Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. All right. Is there anyone else that wanted to speak? Well, I'm going to allow some other people to speak now. Is there anyone else that would like to speak on any of these 3 ordinances?
Would you like to speak to one another when I'm here?
number 10 or 11.
Yeah, we want to speak about Sheriff Department.
That would be number. Yeah, it's number 11.
All right.
Okay?
Yes.
Let's talk about Sheriff. Talk about complaint about this.
Well, I would like to first start off by thanking you because you just did something remarkable. You have consent items and you make them all lumped together, but you just decided you're not going to do that, which is awesome. It shows that you have the ability to change when people need change to happen. So I thank you for doing that. I want you to recognize what you did so you can do it again in the future. We don't have to be constrained to these boundaries that we put on ourselves. You can open the dialogue. Give us 2 minutes per. If there's a consent item in future that people want to speak to separately, allow them because it's the appropriate thing to do in a free government. So speaking about the sheriff's office, I do have a clarifying question. Is this the Dow Constantine, the executive of King County? Is he the one that's going to help do this, or is this the legislative branch? Is it executive and sheriff, or is it legislative and sheriff?
The executive branch is a person that negotiates with our workers.
Is that what he's going to do in this?
Recommends to us.
Okay.
Indicates to us that there's been an agreement between our government and the labor union on the contract, and then we vote on it.
Okay, I just want to make sure, because actually, he might want to talk about the sheriff's office in general. I want to talk about his negotiating with the sheriff's office, and the problem with that, because he just sat here for a half hour with explaining to us how all these people getting awards. It was a good thing. We wasted a half hour of our time. These are internal awards. He could take the same time, if he's making these negotiations, and come speak to the people.
It's not a waste of time.
Your staff isn't a waste of time, but you're wasting this public airtime. You only give us 15 minutes for freedom of speech once a month. You've wasted a half hour giving out awards. How does that... I don't understand where your priorities lie. Giving each other awards while not allowing for freedom of speech? 15 minutes. He said for a half hour. However... Thank your employees for working, because government can't work without these people. However, I don't think we should have wasted a half hour when he should have been up there for a half hour explaining why he decided to make this agreement, why he was doing this. For 3 years now, he hasn't been publicly accountable and hasn't had a Q&A or talking to people. He wasted $600,000 on an arena thing before even coming to the people and telling them he was doing that. He did it behind closed doors because he never has public. People need bus tickets. People need shelter. There's 10,000 people homeless a night. And yet he wants to spend $600,000 of the people's money on a study for an arena. It doesn't even tell the people he's doing it. He just spend. They could have used the $600,000 to buy more tickets. They could have housed more people. Instead, he makes these agreements behind closed doors and then presents it to you. When do the people get to get in there and ask him questions and him present back to the people?
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you.
So I too want to talk about the executive.
You want to talk about what?
The executive. His role in making agreements and stuff.
Well, these are... Number 11 is a labor agreement.
It's an example of an agreement that he makes.
He made the agreement and proposed it.
So I want to address the process of him making the agreement. All agreements he makes is relevant to what I'm going to say.
All right, proceed.
Okay, so the executive never meets with the people. How can he represent the people's interests if he never talks to them? This is another example of how our government has slipped away, seemingly unnoticed, to private offices and expensive restaurants to do as it pleases. This cannot continue, and as our legislative body, it is fully in your power to change this. Create an ordinance which requires the executive to be accessible by the public, thus restoring the integrity of our representative government. This is your job. How can we trust the executive if he won't answer our questions? Sure, he'll come up for a half an hour to give awards, but sorry, that's not his job. The executive exists to serve the people, not to pat them on the back. And while it is a worthy thing, of course, to award people for their services, but I just want to question the time and the place. I would love to see these people before a sports game shown to the public for what they've done. This space, we have a lot of problems we're approaching as a population. And I just question the use of this time when you guys already run late almost every meeting and try and tell us often in the same breath that you don't have enough time for public comment. I mean, it just feels corrupt. It doesn't seem right. And I'm sure you guys, somewhere in you know this, but because of the protocol, because of the way that you've grown up or been conditioned, we seem totally out there because we're questioning it. But things like this need to be questioned. That's how societies move forward. So again, that's why we have to take up this time. It seems like it's not relevant to the ordinance, but again, there's no other opportunity to talk about this stuff because you won't create a public meeting every month so we can engage the people about the issues that we're all going to face. We need to be able to participate in the decisions that affect our destiny. And the executive branch isn't immune to that. He needs to have meetings with the public. He needs to answer our questions if we're ever going to weather the stuff that's coming. And you guys have the power to change that, so I'm asking you to do that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Zimmerman, are you speaking specifically to the labor ordinance?
Yeah, about Sheriff.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Alex Zimmerman and I represent StandUP-America. StandUP-America stands for ordinary people. About Sheriff Department and how government work in this territory. I think for last 2 years we have 6 complaints to Sheriff Department. No one word positive, ever don't have answer. 6 complaints.
What does that have to do with a labor agreement in the sheriff's office?
Yeah, okay, I explained to you how this is. Everything what is you make by union or agreement is involved every point in business what is inside. Union cannot be away from sheriff people, and sheriff cannot be away from law, so it's all in same package. And I explained to you why. Sheriff salary, for example, sheriff personal salary for each time in the union involved in this business, very top. For my understanding, policemen and probably sheriff make like $85 per hour. And 1 hour sheriff business 1 hour costs like approximately $150, $170 hours. So when this guy staying here for 1 hour, it's $170. People money, my money, people money, your money too. So it's everything supposed to be in contract. It's everything supposed to be in union contract. So we talk right now about budget. And you talk last time, so you cut like 165 position of sheriff department. I don't like what is you cut sheriff department. You know what I mean? I think more sheriff people outside is much safety. But you need cut not people, you need cut a salary. For example, New York policemen make like a $30,000 or $40,000 per year. You know what I mean? In more dangerous than in King Country or in Seattle or around. So why you cut positions like a 165,000 position count when you can keep this position inside but cut salary? But you don't doing this. Why? Because union. So you need change principle what is doing right now. America right now not same like 20 years ago. Not same like a 5 years ago. We fallen and fallen and fallen. No money right now. No money. You understand what I mean? It will be money. It will be worse and worse and worse. So you need to be more flexible. It is exactly about contract, about union, what is your right now. More policemen outside is very good. So how you can do in this? By cut and cut and cut. It's good for everybody and good for people, good for government.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you very much.
All right. All right. Ordinance items 9, 10, 11 are now before us, and I call upon Councilmember Hague to move these items.